Make sure you don't got no crust on your face. Move your arm. Like, I need you.
You're not checking for crust.
Yes, I am.
You should stop rubbing my face because it's smooth. Well, Emery's taking a nap.
So we decided to try to do like a good video.
Yeah. And we don't know. Her naps can either be like 45 minutes or 4.5 hours. It's just a lighter. Don't worry about it. It won't look like that.
I feel like my face look ashy.
When was it? It was earlier this week when you and I were talking about like the things in marriage that we're afraid of. You know me. Like if it wasn't you, I'm not getting married.
Yeah,
Like at all. You just showed me everything I needed to see. Like from the time, I'm gonna say from like halfway through the time you were pregnant to the time E was born, you just became a different person. Like in a good way. Okay.
I was like, oh my God, what happened?
Just you became like much more unselfish. Yeah. You became it's like you started to check in on me a lot just to make sure like is there anything you need? Like you started to take care of me in a different way.
When I was pregnant.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah. I know it's no way possible you're gonna find everything you want in another person. Mm-hmm. Like it's never gonna happen. But you had so many of the qualities like that I already thought that I wanted, and then like you were developing other qualities that I knew I needed. You became more nurturing. Like that's a big deal for me.
Sorry, I got this like smile. It was just really cute.
Nah, man, I'm serious.
You know what I think I was afraid of? Because a lot of that came from like fear. I don't think we were in a good enough space to really see the future enough. And what I was afraid of is that during pregnancy, like the hormones, the emotions, the adjustments, all of those things, like a lot of people break up during that time. You know what I mean? Like,
because it's hard.
We're both petty. We both had big personalities. This could have been really bad for us if we didn't really work through it. That's the reason why I decided to really put the work in, because we needed to get to a good place before Emery came.
I see.
I genuinely was afraid that like I was gonna have to raise this baby on my own. Like that's genuinely what I felt. If it happens, then let it happen, not because I didn't try my best, but because it just didn't work.
If something didn't change, we wouldn't have this chemistry. It would have been severed because I would have been too mad at you, and I would have never been able to get over that.
Exactly.
I would have always been a part of Emery's life. I wouldn't have been able to deal with you though.
Yeah.
If I felt like you legit didn't care about the way I felt and you were that self-centered, I wouldn't have been able to deal with you. No, I've never seen an example of a marriage that I would want to be in. Never. I've never seen one. TV. Yo, no.
I'm a lot more comfortable about the concept of marriage simply because it doesn't have to be what we see on TV. It doesn't have to be what we see in our families. We define what our marriage is gonna look like.
Social media blows me. Even though it's not 100% real, they're real people who are posting the content. It's more cool and trendy to customize your love now. You know what I'm saying? It could be what you want it to be as opposed to being like this.
A grandiose idea.
Yeah, man, like it was on TV. Like I don't want to be like Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv. Like they look boring. You know, Harriet and Carl look boring to me. There are things that legitimately scare me when it comes
to get married.
Yeah, like for real.
Like it looks like it's a list. Okay, what's number one?
Now, do you have anything that scares you? I don't want.
This whole concept of marriage scares me. So what are you afraid of?
People don't talk about cheating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like normally I would be the one to kind of stray away from this conversation, but let's just talk about it. You could go into marriage expecting not to cheat, but things happen. So when you say, because I feel like you're speaking around the subject, not speaking through the subject.
I'm not dumb enough to think that I won't be a 50-year-old man who will have an attractive 25-year-old assistant. And it's not even like, oh, I hope I don't do nothing stupid. It's like, yo, what if our relationship is in a place where it's not good and we're working on it, but it's just like we just been together for a long time and it just feel like whatever. Mm-hmm. And every day I walk in, that just looks more and more appealing to me. Yeah. I don't want to be that. Mm-hmm. But I can see how it can happen. I guess I don't really have the vision on how to necessarily prevent that from happening. And I won't. I mean, it's now.
People don't talk about that. Like, one thing I kind of hate about the marriage thing like just that conversation is also like, you hear that perspective from men.
You don't hear it from
women.
women.
Like, I feel like people think women get married and we reach all our goals and we're happy and, you know, whatever is whatever. I'm like, no. Like,
that's not true.
No.
That's what it looked like.
Okay. Like the expectations of a mom. I have to hold down this entire house together. Granted, you know, I don't mind, and that's just the
nature
roles,
of our relationship.
yeah, the roles that work for our relationship. But like, no one told me that this is what it was.
Oh, they did a horrible job describing this.
No
thing.
one told me that
horrible.
Like, you're, what is it? Not the leader of the ship, the
captain of the ship.
I'm the captain of the ship. I'm the captain of the ship. The ship just happens to say Kier Gaines, but I'm the captain of this ship.
In a lot of different ways, yeah.
I'm not in this relationship like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have Kier. Like, you know, he's such a great dad, and, you know, I don't know where I would be without him. Like, yes, I feel that way, but I think, you know, a lot of women have come to me and it's just like, oh my God, you're so lucky that you have a man to blah, blah, blah. Like, your life is perfect. I'm like, yes, I'm absolutely lucky to have you, but I'm just as important in this relationship as well. We're going all over the place. We were talking about fears. If we were to ever get to a place where, like, this became an expectation versus something to acknowledge me about,
I can see that happening too.
I can totally see, like, and you know, I'm at work and my work husband is telling me, you know, or whatever the setting may be, it's like, wow, you're amazing, you're so efficient, you're doing this, I wish I had you to help me, blah, you know what I mean? That's how that stuff starts. Like just, it can even, like, as far as like the husband's role, it can start with like, yeah, thank you for doing this, babe. That little thank you means the world to me. It's like, so you saw when I was staying up all night trying to figure out how Eve was going to get to this location, how you were going to get to this, and how we were going to spend time with each other this week and cook for the week and blah, blah, blah. And you do a great job at that.
I was going to say, I've gotten better, but I can be better at that.
You can, but you've done enough to, like, I'm still happy. You know what I mean?
She's really good at this, and I'm getting better at it, of not letting issues seep in. So if there's something that happens, as opposed to just me saying, hey, what's wrong, or her being like, nothing. No, I mean, how many times a day do I ask you, are you okay, or what's wrong?
Now?
Yeah.
Often.
I like to check in and make sure if there's an issue. Yeah, get it out of the way. Like,
especially if my facial expressions are off, you always ask now.
I don't want nothing to sit. I want us to always be able to clear that stuff off our desk. I would love to think that that level of check-in works long term, but like, people say, bro, relationship mutates.
Yeah,
it mutates. And even like the way I approach you sometimes with things, it's much less effective now than it was a year ago.
Yeah.
So like,
because we both change.
Yeah,
our styles change, what we feel comfortable with change.
So what if that level of talking doesn't clear the bill anymore?
We're not always gonna like each other. I'm not always gonna feel like inconveniencing myself for your happiness.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen once I decide I don't want to do that anymore?
And what happens if we shift? Because just like them love languages we took, love language
which are
test,
completely different now than they
yo,
were
we
before.
took y'all ever took the signs of love language? I'm saying I'm like, y'all can respond to me.
But it's not signs of love. You said love.
That's
the signs of love
These
making.
are the signs of love making.
No, they're not the signs. It's just love languages.
Got me looking for, girl, you sending me signs of love.
You think you sound good too, and you don't.
Make me say ooh.
You trying to vibrato? I hear it.
That boy good. What is it? The love languages?
Yeah, it's just love languages.
Our love languages are different.
I can't get past that you said signs of love languages.
You know what I was talking about.
What mood are you in right now?
I don't know. What's in this coffee? We took the love language quiz a few years ago, and mine now is completely different than what it was.
That so one thing, mine is completely different.
Yeah, yours is almost like the opposite. What was your
polar opposite? First
love is now your fifth. Yeah. Even with E, like, our relationship is so different. It's more routine now. You know, we don't have a lot of time just to, like, we still time to hug and love up on each other. Yeah. But we don't just naturally have that time. We have to carve it out and make it. As E gets older, if we have another baby, life responsibilities become different, and our relationship just becomes a series of tasks and shit we always gotta do.
Yeah.
And then we lose each other in that. It happens all the time.
It's happened to us in this past year.
But we were able to get it back, right? But we're not even married yet.
Yeah.
On top of that, you got the marriage familiarity where we're always with each other.
I can't see myself from the outside, but one thing that I see about myself is that I was completely selfish then, and I don't think I'm selfish now. And I was not like that before. It was more like...
I never knew that you knew you were selfish. One of the fears I have is that our chemistry, is our chemistry, can it...
is it real?
Is it built for the long haul? No, I know it's real.
Is this the puppy love phase that people talk about?
No. I don't question that at all. If you're coming up short, whatever that day, if you just emotionally, you don't have it, I can take over a little bit. But it's because I want to. But what if I don't want to do it?
You're not gonna. I'm telling you now, you're not gonna want to do it.
Yeah,
but you're gonna do it.
You don't see how that kind of tension weighs on people after a while.
But then it's also my responsibility to make shit about you sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you do that for me.
Yeah.
You don't have the time and the capacity to do it all the time, but I feel it and I understand it and I accept it when it comes. It's not given to me on the platter that I want it to be given, but I know that you're putting in that work, and that's enough. It's enough for me to do 75 and for you to do 25 if I know that 25 is all you got and you're giving me all of that 25. I'm not upset at the 75. And I wish I could tell you I'm just saying this, but I genuinely feel like that.
Nah, I believe you, but and this is something that you got better at. That 20, when you recognize that I'm giving 25, you need to recognize that 25 is my 100. That's all I got. And if you can treat my 25 like it's 100, don't treat my 25 like I'm only giving 25.
Yep. I've definitely gotten better in that. Because I knew I did it, and I didn't care that I did it.
Yo, but the fact, that was one, it's 3 things you started doing that made me say, you know what, I can marry you. That was a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Treating my efforts like they weren't enough, can't do it.
Yep. I'm just gonna go grab her.
Go get her. No, I don't want you. No. What are you scared about with marriage?
I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up one day and be like, F this.
I got a fear one day I'm gonna wake up and you're gonna be gone. You're gonna be in the crib like, where's mommy? But I thought you had her. And I'm gonna look up and your phone gonna say you somewhere in West Africa and you're gonna change your name and you left us.
I'm gonna lie, there are moments where I wake up and I'm like, if I can disappear, where would I go?
Take me with you.
No, I'm not.
Don't disappear. Don't leave me with her.
Yeah, so it's just I guess my fear is one day my opinions and my pain and my struggles and my unhappiness isn't gonna matter. That one day you'd be like, I gave you a ring, what else do you want from me? You know what I mean? Where maybe one day when we get married, it's just well, I know she's gonna do everything to make this marriage work because that's who she is now. And you get comfortable. And you're just oh shit, I need to get out of here.
Nah. Because if I get comfortable, you gonna get comfortable. And if you get comfortable, I'm moving to Africa. What if you check a lot of boxes? You check a lot of boxes that are no, I'm not negotiating on those things. But there are some things I wonder if you'll be able to keep up forever. But
what? What's a fear? What's a condition that you're not 110% convinced? And you can be honest.
Is this a trick?
No.
Okay. I feel like you do a pretty good job of
You're so afraid of this question.
Yeah, I'm not about to booby trap myself. We're not about to argue tonight. I'm afraid that you have this image of what marriage will be in your head. And when it doesn't meet your expectation over a long period of time, you don't have as much regard for us anymore. Not just how you feel about me, but us. It's a different energy. You feel one day you may just say I'm really tired. This isn't what I wanted. I've changed as a person. I've changed as a woman. Yeah. And I want something different. I won't jive with it.
Yeah.
that's an issue. I don't think it'll happen because I've been, but am I always going to be willing to bend? But like when it comes to relationships, oftentimes you hear this narrative of how women sacrifice and forgive and slice off and modify and partition and move things around and readjust. But
I'm not that girl. Not forever.
But that's where our roles are different. That's my job in our relationship.
Yeah.
Is to do a lot of that adjustment work. But to answer your question, I'm kind of afraid you won't always look at me the way you look at me. You look at me like how Michelle look at Barack.
Cause you fine.
Stop it.
No, but that's not where I was going with it. I was going
Hey,
with
you do not hijack the vlog, okay? You sit here and you say nothing. You look adorable. You can look at the camera. If you like, you can smile. Maybe give a cool every now and then, but you will not hijack this. Do you understand me? Okay.
So where I'm going with this is, like, we kind of talked about this on our date last night. Like, you check off all the boxes. Like, you're physically attractive, like sexually attracted to you, like that's there.
Hey, come and get me.
The most important thing for me is that like cerebral connection that we have. Like, I have never dated a guy, like seriously dated a guy that I really thought was intelligent. Never.
Baby.
Never.
Come on, man.
Sorry, y'all. Y'all don't. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
Don't say that.
No, like that girlfriend that you go to for advice, that's him. You get the best advice.
You got, baby, you can't.
You do.
But
like
you can't sound like one of your girlfriends.
But okay, but let me go back to the boxes. You check that box. I feel like you can take care of me, man. Yeah. One thing that I always was afraid about in marriage is that I was raised by a very independent, strong black woman. But you know, I also grew up with a very loving father. At almost 30 years old, I still bend for my mom. But my mom is
You're not almost 30, you're 30.
No, I'm 29.
That's pretty much 30.
No, but it's not. It's 29. This ain't even the year that I turned 30 yet. I got like at least, 6 more weeks.
Knock knock. Knock knock.
Tell Dada to be quiet.
Knock knock.
See? She said be quiet.
Knock knock.
What?
That's not how.
Who's there?
30.
A lot of people ask us whether, like, you guys ready for marriage and all that comes with it. I mean, from what we think, yeah. And the things that we have to work on, we have to work on. Marriage is not just this finish line where it's like, you gotta have all your ducks in order on this date at this time. By the time you walk down that aisle, and then everything's gonna be great moving on. Things aren't great, but I think the reason why...
Things are great.
Yeah, things are great right now, but they're
not perfect.
Yeah, they're not gonna be perfect.
A wedding is just a wedding. It's not a marriage. Right. It's a day. It's an event. Yep. It's a party. I just want to always keep in mind that, like, this thing is gonna. Oh. I just want to always keep y'all happy, man. But I want to be happy too. Yeah. I don't.
But you wanting to keep us happy is gonna make sure that I try to make you happy. It's the cup thing. I'm telling you, that analogy was perfect.
What is it? Happy wife, happy life?
No, it's happy house, happy spouse. Or happy spouse, happy house.
Oh, I made up one.
What?
Happy couple, marriage supper. Yeah. It sounded better in my head.
Dumb.
I'm watching like the Will and Jada series.
Oh yeah, the Red Table.
Yeah, I think it's dope. Like, I love that people are opening up and talking about relationships like that. But like, the way they got married scares me because they did a lot of their work after they were already married.
Like 20 years in.
That wouldn't work for us. We wouldn't last that long.
No.
We got to handle ours off top.
We also wouldn't have gotten married.
No, we wouldn't. But yeah, thank y'all. As always, we love you all. We consider y'all family. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like this video. And do not forget to, there's something else I always forget. Don't forget what's the other thing? Oh, don't forget to hit the notification. Okay, give me 2 seconds, I promise. Don't forget to hit the notification button so that you can know of all of our new posts as they're uploaded. Thank y'all. Always a pleasure. Till next time.